We all want to build a better world, but the data shows we are rapidly losing ground. Global peacefulness is in a sharp, steady decline. For decades, global superpowers operated under the doctrine of mutually assured destruction. If we want our children to have a livable future, we need a new baseline: mutually assured survival. Looking at the data from the Global Peace Index, the numbers are stark. The recent findings reveal the largest single-year decrease in global peace, paired directly with the largest increase in militarization. This chart highlights the massive disparity in our global spending. We currently pour $7.6 trillion into militarism and the preparation for war, while dedicating less than 0.5% of that to actual peacebuilding. No matter how deep our humanitarian intentions run, our collective financial priorities are actively funding the destruction of our own planet. Millions of dedicated humanitarians and peacebuilders work tirelessly every day to improve lives and communities. Ask those people to speak out against the military-industrial complex, and you often see a complete freeze. They hesitate, worried this gets too political. They retreat to safer ground, focusing entirely on digging wells, preventing diseases, and supporting local economies. Those efforts are vital. However, quietly treating the symptoms of a broken world will not guarantee a livable planet if we refuse to confront the systems actively causing the harm. Inside the peacebuilding community, an academic debate currently divides how organizations direct their energy. Often, the focus is on positive peace, building social structures, integrating communities, and creating pillars of a healthy society. The other half is negative peace, the active work of stopping violence and ending war. Right now, institutional trends actively discourage focusing on this anti-war component. Ignoring this leaves a fatal flaw. A single conflict instantly reverses decades of positive peace, destroying environments and hijacking resources required to survive. Any strategy that exclusively builds positive structures while ignoring the machinery of war will eventually see its progress erased. To understand how to cure a global disease, we can look at Rotary International's near eradication of polio in Africa as a structural blueprint. Achieving this required aggressive, on-the-ground tactics. Volunteers crossed hostile borders and negotiated active military truces to reach vulnerable children. They stepped outside the bounds of quiet charity. They acted with brilliant political effectiveness, fiercely advocating with government leaders to dispel myths and demand action. Even top military commanders recognized the necessity of this approach. Four-star General James Mattis explicitly noted the cost-benefit ratio, stating that if you do not fully fund diplomacy, you ultimately have to buy more ammunition. Forceful political advocacy aligns perfectly with humanitarian principles. It is the exact tool required to eradicate the human-made disease of war. As global militarism escalates, we can look to the foundational philosophy of Rotary International founder Paul Harris for guidance on our civic duty. He argued that the most virtuous war is the war against war, calling it a direct battle against ignorance and indifference. To achieve mutually assured survival, we must move beyond passive pro-peace sentiments. We must become actively and vocally anti-war. This slide from the Ending War 101 presentation outlines the first clear steps. We have to divest personal and institutional funds from the war machine and actively educate ourselves on how to make peace possible. Educational and financial accountability forms the necessary baseline for engaged, responsible global citizenship. Moving from education to action requires advocates to engage directly with lawmakers to shift policy, rather than remaining at the level of petitions or rallies. Right now, the mutually assured survival collaboration, we can pool our efforts. We hold the collective political power to change the global trajectory. We just have to choose to use it.